In this video, I'm going to take you through a full day of eating on the carnivore diet and share the 3 biggest mistakes that I see folks making when they first start. Also, just a heads up, mistake number 3 is the trickiest and it seems to derail the most folks. If you're new here, my name is Marcus and I've successfully lost 60 pounds and I've been helping busy folks lose fat and get healthy for the last 12 years now. It's time to eat. There it is, guys. 1 pound of 75-25 ground beef, 4 eggs, and 4 slices of bacon topped with salt. Mistake number 1 is transitioning too fast.
Here at Staples. Oh, playing.
Some folks seem to be able to go from 0 to hero without any issues. However, a lot of folks seem to have a much smoother experience by gradually transitioning into the carnivore diet. And if you're one of those people, I think that starting with more of an animal-based approach at first can be helpful. Just so that you're not going from eating a lot of carbohydrate to essentially 0 carbohydrate. And an animal-based diet is essentially a carnivore diet plus fruit. And so you're still going to be getting the majority of your calories from meat, poultry, fish, seafood, eggs, and dairy if you tolerate it. However, you're also going to have some fruit in the mix, and this can be a really helpful bridge between a standard North American diet and a carnivore diet. Also, you may actually find that an animal-based diet resolves all of the issues that you wanted to resolve to begin with. Meaning you may not have to go all the way to the carnivore diet end of the spectrum to reach your goals. That is entirely possible. On the other hand, if you are a go cold turkey, jump into the deep end type of cat, and that works for you, do it by all means. It is snack time. We've got a couple of hard-boiled eggs with some smoked salmon. These are free range from Costco. And Kirkland smoked salmon. Easy little snack. Mistake number 2 is neglecting electrolyte status. Carbohydrates signal to the kidneys via insulin to hold on to electrolytes. And so when we're not eating many or any carbs, it becomes more important for us to stay on top of our electrolyte status. A few common signs of low electrolytes are muscle cramps, fatigue, headaches, irregular heartbeat, and dizziness, among others. In order to sidestep this, I would recommend salting your food to taste and letting your tongue decide how much salt you need. But if that's not enough and you are still experiencing negative symptoms, feel free to add an electrolyte supplement in like Relight or Element, for example. I have no affiliation with either company, they are just quality products, and so I'm happy to shout them out. You can also make your own electrolyte supplement at home for a fraction of the cost. For example, Element has a recipe on their website that walks you through exactly how to make this stuff. Dinner is served. We got a pound of 80/20 lamb, chopped up some bacon there, and a garnish pickle on the side. Mistake number 3. This is the biggie, and it's a bit tricky. It is eating either too much or too little fat. I'll explain both. Having loose stools is a classic sign of eating too much fat. And this happens for a lot of folks when they first start the carnivore diet for 2 primary reasons. The first one is that their body is just not used to digesting and assimilating that much dietary fat, and so it just goes right through them. And the second one is in regards to rendered fat specifically. This is a very common culprit for loose stools, and rendered fat is just a fancy way of saying liquid fat. For example, when you cook ground beef, all of that stuff that hangs out in the bottom of the pan is rendered fat. Some of it is water too, but most of it is fat. So if you're experiencing loose stools, don't eat that stuff. However, if you find that you need more calories from fat, but you don't tolerate the rendered stuff from a digestive standpoint, go for more solid forms of fat like the fat cap on a steak. Bacon is another option, as well as refrigerated or even frozen butter. On the other hand, if you are experiencing constipation, you are almost certainly not eating enough fat. which is a fairly easy fix because you just eat more. For example, you can choose fattier cuts of meat, you can implement easy to eat high fat foods like bacon, and you can also have that rendered fat that's hanging out at the bottom of a pan as opposed to tossing it out. Also, it's worth mentioning that your tolerance to dietary fat should increase over time as your body ramps up bile production. Feel free to thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will catch you in the comments.